I'm pointing that out. I expect rankings.
Okay. My number 5 is
Balderdash. It's terrible. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My number 5 is bowl season.
Bowl?
College football bowl season.
Oh, bowl season.
Yeah, bowl. BOWL.
I thought you said bowl. I'm like, you like the Chicago Bulls?
No. My favorite. That is my 5th favorite. I love the bowl season. I'm not a fan, and someday we'll get there about the BCS.
Yeah. So you hate the BCS. Why would you like the bowls?
No. I like the Poinsettia Bowl and the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, I understand. But I'm saying is they're kind of like intertwined.
Those aren't part of the BCS.
The bowl championship series, you mean?
There's only 5 BCS bowls.
But they're all included though. Bowl season includes the BCS.
I like the games.
Too.
Yes, I don't like how it's determined the champion, but I like that time of year.
I'm only saying that I'm surprised because I view them as intertwined. I don't view them as separate things. BCS it goes along with bowl season. That's why I don't really care for bowl season.
I enjoy the games. I enjoy that time of year. I enjoy watching the games. I don't like the way it determines the champion, but I like the games.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. I'm just saying
You consider them all.
I'm just surprised. That's all I'm saying. I broke mine up by months for the most part. That's all. So you understand. So I'm gonna say, my number 5 is July, and the biggest reason I love July, besides the fact that my birthday's in July, is the fact that that's the month where the Chicagoland race is, and that doesn't mean much to everybody else, but it means a lot to me because this area explodes like the 2 and 3 weeks before that race, especially the days leading up to it. There's so much going on. There's a fan fest in Joliet. There's driver appearances. There's all kinds of show cars showing up everywhere for you to go and just gawk at and go like, wow, there's a Carl Edwards drove that. Excuse me, I just burped to the mic. And MLB's and that time we have the trade and deadline too, and that's kind of cool. I think so. Remember, trade deadline is in July.
The end of July.
Okay, that counts then because I said July. So I mean I do enjoy the month.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, number 4.
Excuse me. My number 4, and it's kind of the same, but a little different. I put I put July 4th weekend ish, meaning like the time right around like the first couple of weeks of July, if you will.
Gotcha.
And the reason I put that is part of the same reason with the Chicagoland race, because that to some other fans it's just another race, but it means a lot to us because it's except for it's usually the one great, very convenient close shot we have at going to a race. This area explodes. It's just like no other. It's awesome. But another part of it for me, in addition, is just summer baseball and the holiday weekend and the Pepsi 400 or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, the Firecracker 400.
Yeah,
let's say that.
And I just really like that time. It's a good sports time for me.
Gotcha. My number 4 is October, because you have the MLB playoffs, which is a big deal. Again, I don't really watch much baseball, but I recognize that it's exciting and I keep up with what's going on. You have the NFL isn't like entering week. It's like that time from like week 5 to week 9 where people are on bye weeks, but at the same time, you're getting a feel for how it's going to be. And that's when the contenders emerge. You're figuring out if your team is a contender or a joke. And also, you're knee-deep in the chase for the championship. And every week is so important in NASCAR, and every race is important and all that. And all week, everybody's talking about, well, what happens this week? Jimmy Johnson's leading the points by 2 over Tony Stewart. Oh, my God, it's all exciting. And it makes you look forward to every race. Also, you don't look forward to it because you think you might die from just sheer, excitement. Kind of like your Cubs-Indians thing. Like, I don't like them playing. It just kills me.
Yeah.
I don't like watching races where I have a guy that I'm rooting for close because it's just heart palpitations.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 3.
My number 3 is the month of May. And by that, I mean the month of May.
Yeah.
For me, I think we've actually
Big Kentucky Derby fan?
Well, yeah. But for me, it's a big month because growing up, it was always the Indianapolis 500 and the fact, and we've actually talked about this on the show, the whole fanfare of like it's a month event.
Yeah,
they have carburation day and qualifying and practices and just everything. And in addition to that, on kind of a smaller level, but still a big deal to me, is the Coke 600 and the All-Star race and Richmond.
Even there, that's like half a month right there. Spitting Charlotte
and Richmond and Darlington, some of my favorite racetracks. So it's a big month to me.
Yeah, actually, I can't believe I had completely forgot about May. Maybe it's because it's the only thing that's going on for me right there in this auto racing.
Yeah.
My number 3 is the pretty much time from like late July throughout the month of August, because that to me is a big time, because that is NFL training camps open and all the NFL preseason hype starts. And, Madden comes out, and so you're playing with all the new players, and you're enjoying it, and you're like, oh, look, there's, this guy on the new team. I mean, like, I'm excited about Madden 10 just because that's going to have Matt Castle and the Chiefs on it. I'll be able to play with Matt Castle and Mike Vrabel, though without Tony Gonzalez. But it's that excitement that's coming up right there. And even though preseason games suck, it's still interesting, And so I'm watching it. And also that, NASCAR's gearing up for the chase, so you have races at Watkins Glen. Michigan, I love Michigan as opposed to you. Bristol is always a great race. It's the Bristol Night Race that month. So there's a lot of good stuff going on in that time.
Yep.
Number 2.
My number 2 is the month of February.
Yeah.
I think it kind of goes without saying. And you had said this before the show. A lot of people hate the month of February.
Yeah.
But for me, obviously the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But the Budweiser shootout, basically
Speed weeks.
Well, yeah, with what we just said, about the fanfare for the Indy 500 and for the Coke 600, I love that time. It's for what you said with like training camp. It's kind of like, oh, this driver's with this team now. What's going to happen?
And getting to see them on the track for the first time and in action and all
in
that.
like 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 was September, because you have NFL opening day and the chase starts at the same time.
Good.
You have your NFL opening day, but at the same time you have Richmond, which is that always has never failed to produce that exciting pre-chase race, and then you have the chase actually starting for those first few weeks, and that's an incredibly exciting time.
Yep. My number 1 is something you actually said already.
Mm-hmm.
My number 1 is the month of October, and I wrote next to it the reason why: every sport. In the month of October, you have kind of what we said about like getting started, kind of shaking things out with the NBA and the NHL, which is kind of cool, But it's also got the chase. It's got the beginning of the NFL season. It's got baseball playoffs. Every single sport it plays in October. It's amazing to me. I hate the weather that time. I hate it because it's winter's coming, but I love sports that time of year. Love it. Everything. And anything that you could possibly want is in the month of October.
And the difference between you and me is that, I recognize the World Series being a big deal. Other than that, though, don't care that NBA started and don't really care that NHL started, because to me, none of those sports are really on my radar until we get closer to the playoffs for them.
Yeah.
So that's where
and that's just a difference of
My number 1 is February.
Yep.
Because when you get around to Daytona coming up, you get that itch again. You can't believe how you get to that point where all of a sudden you realize, man, it's almost here again. I don't know how I survived that 3 months without any NASCAR, just optimism reigns supreme and everything. And of course, this is Super Bowl, and that's fun, but it's no Daytona, not to me at least. All right, we've got 3 minutes left. A short show, huh? 2 minutes left now. As usual, thank you to Mike Reynolds and FVTV for airing us every week. Thank you to Jamie Lara, who helped out this week after abandoning us last week. And no thanks to we'll thank Paul Sauer again, even though he wasn't here, because we did Paul's Jamie last week.
Paul's on vacation.
Paul got married. Congratulations, Paul.
Congratulations, Paul. Thank you to everyone that.
Yeah, thank you to people writing emails, right?
Yeah.
That's where you're going, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To all the emails that we got.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of which, what's our email address?
And if you want to send us an email like you saw with some suggestions, even questions, comments, concerns, whatever you might want to send us.
Preferably no cursing, but hey, we'll take it.
You can email us at racinandstuff@gmail.com, just like you see if you're watching us on YouTube, the screen behind us. And speaking of that, you can watch us on YouTube if you're listening to us audio version. You can look us up at youtube.com/racinandstuff. And you can also power search us on the iTunes store. We are downloadable for free. Just power search Racin and Stuff under the podcasts.
That's right, for free. Can't beat that. Everybody out there.
Yeah, so check us out. And like I said, I learned a few weeks ago, and it's really cool how you can have it update automatically. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see, check us out, and we are continuing our Friday versions.
Yeah, we will do one this week. We promise. So, as always, I'm Doug.
And I am Chris.
And we'll talk to you later.
See ya.